Okay, my fellow lads, today I'm going to do something that which a lot of you would probably never ever see me do. I'm going to defend PC gaming for once. You want to know why? Because this is the current state of PC gaming versus console gaming, right? Come here. Come with me, come on. Alright, this right here is a Xbox One S, right? This console currently can play Xbox Series S games via through Xbox's Series S cloud gaming, right? Or in other words, what it's also known as just simply Xbox Cloud Gaming, right? Well, let's compare the price of a 1S, that of which you can probably get secondhand these days only, compared to a PC. When it comes to price, yes, of course the Xbox is cheaper. I don't have to sit here and tell you the price. Like, it's pretty obvious that an Xbox One S is going to be what, $200 compared to like a $700 or $1,000 PC. But here's the thing that a lot of people do not understand about PCs, right? Is firstly, let's take Sonic Unleashed, right? A game which recently has had a recompilation, which is where you take the game's data and whatnot. They literally made a PC port of Sonic Unleashed to Sonic fans, which is bloody awesome, if I'm going to be honest. Let's take that and put that into this conversation, okay? Sonic Unleashed originally ran on console at a max of 60 FPS, right? And didn't actually run very good, to be completely honest, right? Now, this is the part where the conversation comes in of original experience versus better experience, right? Now, look, I'm going to be honest. I defend both. I love the original experience, but I also love the better experience. For example, with Sonic Unleashed Recompiled, you can go up to like 120 FPS. The game looks beautiful now. You can put mods in. You can do all that shit, right? You can go nuts. Where the original experience is in 720p, a maximum of a capped 60 FPS, and is just good old-fashioned classic Sonic Unleashed. So, which is better? Well, that depends on what you want, really. And this is the main point I try to make whenever people come to me and go, "Oh, PC's better because this, and this. Oh, console's better because this, and this." Look, it just depends on what you want. Both console and PC are very good. And look, I think we can all admit at the end of the day, overall, PC is better. But that doesn't mean that the original console experience is bad. No, quite the opposite, actually. Hell, right now, I have a Sega Mega Drive, a Nintendo Wii, an Xbox 360, an Xbox One S, and a PS2. A PS2 that still works. And might I add in, PS2 emulation nowadays has gotten so good, I could literally right now play Sonic Heroes on my phone that I'm using to record this very video. But there's nothing like the original experience. That's the main point I try to make whenever I'm talking about the original experience, which is that there's nothing like it. You get what I mean? And then the people who play on PC will be like, well, yeah, obviously, but PC is better because this, and this. And you want to know something? You're completely right. You're completely correct on that. Both PC and consoles seriously have their strengths when it comes to comparing video game consoles from the early 2000s to a modern PC. And I think that's really impressive that even still to this very day, a console from way back when can still hold up so well to this very day. But what about modern consoles? Well, all I have to say about that is if you pay that little bit more, which to some people can look like a lot more, but trust me, in some cases it is, in some cases it's not. But anyway, if you pay just that little bit more, you can get a 20 times better experience than playing on a console. That's the BS of modern gaming these days, right? Is that you seriously have to pay the money for the quality and for just a good experience. And actually, yeah, sorry, I got that wrong. You don't have to pay the money these days for good quality, because you can get good quality on a freaking Nintendo Wii or a PS2, right? I still consider that to be good quality, right? Nowadays, with modern consoles, you are paying for a good experience. You're no longer paying for the quality anymore. In fact, hell, barely anyone cares about video game graphics or any of that shit any fucking more. We all give a shit about the overall experience itself of playing these games, right? And that's what you're paying for these days. You're no longer paying for graphics anymore. The whole graphics thing is just a flex these days. It's just to show off a little bit. Like, for example, Doom the Dark Ages. Now it's RTX. And, you get what I'm saying? You get what I mean? Like, that's cool, but when you go beyond that, there's nothing else. So you kind of just sit there and go, okay, and? Like, that's definitely not me trying to trash on Doom the Dark Ages. Fuck no. I am so excited for that game. But, for example, with the famous, now somewhat famous, Doom RTX, I looked at that and I went, okay, this is really, really cool, but that's it. It's just Doom with RTX. There's nothing else. Like, that's it. You know? Like, there are going to be some people out there who are going to be like, oh my god, Doom with RTX, oh, what? That's crazy. That's insane. And it is. But once you get over the fact that it's crazy and insane, there's nothing beyond that. What's beyond that is just Doom. You know, the original Doom. And that is definitely not a fucking bad thing at all. Doom is a great franchise and great game. It really is. But, what I'm trying to say is that it's like nowadays, some things in video games are overhyped these days, you know? Again, that's not me trying to trash on Doom RTX. I think that's an amazing project. Overall, fucking awesome, right? But when your mind goes beyond that, it can't, because there's nothing else really there. You know, again, with Doom RTX, the only thing that you can go really beyond is the fact that you're playing Doom. You get what I mean? So yeah. Again, that's not a bad thing, but it's like taking that, right, and applying it to Doom the Dark Ages, right? I noticed that one of the things that was talked about with Doom the Dark Ages when it was coming out was the fact that it ran on RTX. I literally only gave a shit about that for like a day, maybe two. And then that was it. Because I was too fucking busy caring about everything else when it comes to the game. You know what I mean? Which is good, you know? Like, way back when, we only really cared about graphics. Hell, some of us still only care about the graphics, you know? A lot of us, some of us still to this very day are like, oh man, I gotta run this game in like the best graphics, you know, like HD. And that's not a bad thing. But what about everything else, you know? What about everything else that makes the gaming experience, you know, a good fucking gaming experience? You get what I mean? So yeah. And that's definitely not me sitting here trying to call it trash or bad or anything. It's really not. But I'm sitting here and I'm just kind of questioning it, you know? Like, it's cool that we have stuff now that runs like RTX and whatnot. A really good example would be Half-Life 2 RTX, this recent one, right? Which, by the way, they apparently haven't done the RTX processing application, add RTX to Half-Life 2. Apparently they haven't done it very well, or something like that. I don't fucking know. But anyway, when you take that and put it into the conversation, right, the only thing that gamers are really going to give a shit about is the fact that it's RTX Half-Life 2. They're not going to care about the fact that it's Half-Life 2. They're going to care about the fact that it's RTX Half-Life 2. Are you getting what I'm saying? This is one of the biggest reasons why, when remasters and remakes started coming out, they were a big deal, right? Because it was like, oh shit, you know? So yeah, where nowadays, it's overdone, overbloated, and shit like that. You get what I mean, right? Same with the graphics thing, right? So, when it comes to console versus PC, these days, which one is better? It's PC. It's PC. Like, straight up, PC is better than console. It's been that way for quite a while, actually. I probably have to say that it really started kicking in around the start of the pandemic. Like 2019, I'd say around December 2019 to be exact. Um, so yeah, and like, don't worry, nothing broke just then. Actually, let me check. Yeah, nothing broke. It's all good. But anyway, but yeah, like emulation, especially emulation, really started kicking in on PC, um, around like the middle of, I'd say, 2021, 2022. Actually, no, I'd say December 2021 is when emulation really started to kick in and get really good. Um, so yeah, but then again, what about playing on the original console? Well, the thing is that the original consoles these days can actually just emulate. No, sorry, I got that wrong. Sorry, the emulators these days can actually just straight up emulate the original console experience, which will lead a lot of people to sit there and go, okay, what's the point in buying an original console then? And I'm gonna be real with you, there really isn't anymore. Like, the only point to it these days is if you care and or love the video game you're playing that much, go buy it physically. Go do it. Like, why not? You know? That's what I do. I will sometimes use emulation, and if I enjoy the game that I'm playing that much, I'll end up buying a physical copy. A great example would be Sonic Unleashed. Again, I actually don't have a physical copy of the game, but I am going to get one. Either most likely sometime next month. Because I got some live stuff going on in the background at the moment. If you know, you know. But anyway, it's mainly just stuff, you know, general stuff. So yeah. But anyway, I currently don't own a physical copy of Sonic Unleashed, but I actually kind of love that game now. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with Sonic Unleashed, to be honest. Not actually because of the Werehog, to be honest. It's because of the Werehog's levels. I actually love the Werehog itself. I love the fact that you can just beat up enemies and shit like that. It's fucking cool. But the levels themselves that the Werehog is designed around, a lot of them tend to be meh, not bad, just meh. And like, for me, the Werehog's gameplay is actually pretty good. It's just the levels I feel like are just eh. If there's a Sonic Unleashed recompilation mod out there that actually improves the Werehog's levels, feel free to let me know about that, and or just send it to me in the comment section below. I would love to check that out. And I don't worry, I do use a gameplay mod already with Sonic Unleashed, for the recompilation. But even then, still, I don't need it. It just fine tunes and tweaks little things to make the overall experience just that little bit more modern and better. But do I need it? No, but it's a neat little thing to have in there. So yeah. But anyway, so yeah, like I just said, I currently do not own a physical copy of Sonic Unleashed, right? But would I go buy a physical copy? Hell yeah, I love the game that much. I'm going to end up doing that, you know? Because the thing is that with things like laptops, computers, anything that primarily primarily uses a digital media format or whatever, it hang on, no, sorry, I meant like relies on it, sorry. Those things can die, and when they do, you've lost a lot of stuff, you know? So it's always good to have a physical copy and have a physical hard drive that you can just take out. A great example would be my Xbox 360 Slim. I can literally just take out the hard drive, and then boom, there's all my save files for Sonic Unleashed and everything all right there on the hard drive, you know? So yeah. And I think that's also one of the things that makes PC gaming, like actual PC gaming, so great. That which being that you can just take out the hard drive. Like if you ever get that worried about your PC just randomly turning off, you can just turn it off yourself and take out the hard drive, and then like I don't know, do something like add a new power or something rather. I'm not a PC guy, but yeah. Um, but one of the main things that people will talk about when they bring up PC versus console is price, right? And all I have to say is that comparison just, nah, it doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't, because here's consoles, here's PCs. Like, you just can't do that kind of comparison anymore. When it comes to the games that you'll play, yeah, it's about here, but in reality, it's actually more like here, if you want to include Steam. There are a lot of games on Steam that are just not on modern consoles. A lot. In fact, it's more like this many. It goes beyond that. It goes past the screen, you know? Like, yeah. That looks like I'm trying to hug you or something. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that consoles are good. Very good. But PCs are better. And a lot of people are gonna look at me and be like, oh, but with PC you gotta do this, do that, mate. Get a pre-built PC for about $700, and you're not gonna ever, and I mean ever, even buy a console. I'm not even joking, because you're gonna have that many games to play. It's gonna be fucking ridiculous. Now, might I add in, some PC ports of video games can actually be worse than the console version. A good example would be the original Halo. Apparently the graphics in the PC version aren't as good as the console version, but guess what you can do? Emulate! So yeah. And if you want to emulate a game like Halo legally, you can go buy a physical copy of Halo from eBay for like a maximum of $40. But then again, you can always just go to your secondhand store, pick up a copy of Halo for like $10. So yeah, if you want to do emulation legally, which most people don't, but if you do, then yeah, just borrow games from friends. Which is my recommendation. Find someone who loves like retro gaming and has like all this retro gaming stuff, right? Go to one of them and be like, hey, can I borrow your game so I can dump the file from that game to my computer so that I can emulate that, you know? Because doing that is legal, you know? So yeah. And that's not even really stealing. You're just using one of your friend's copies of the game. You know what I mean? It's like literally being given the game. And this is what I would do, right? If you like the game that much, go buy it yourself. So yeah, looking at you, Nintendo. I know Nintendo might, I highly doubt it, but I know Nintendo might be listening to this. And to Nintendo, all that I have to say is that, well, what would happen if I were to do this? What I would do is I would borrow a game like, say, Super Mario Bros. 3, right? I would borrow that game from a friend, and if I like the game that much, I'll just go buy the fucking game, you know? So yeah. Like, if I really, really like Super Mario Bros. 3 that much, I'll be like, oh, hell yeah, dude, I'll go buy this, why not? I'll just go buy it. So yeah. And by the way, might I add in, I'm not talking about buying the game complete in box. I'm talking about buying the game itself. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you a really, 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 really good example, right? Sonic 2 for the Master System, right? I'm not talking about buying the box with the cover on it or the manual. No, I'm talking about buying the raw game itself, or in this case, the cartridge. Because when you do that, guess what? You're not doing anything illegal. So yeah. But yeah, that's personally what I would highly recommend people do. But then again, then people look at me and go, oh, okay, well, what about games like this? Sonic 3, games that are getting really, really expensive. Look, at that point, just I don't really recommend you do this, but at that point, borrow this from your friend. If you're gonna use emulation, get your friend to dump their physical copy of the game onto a USB that they can then give to you. Be like, hey, here you go. Here's my copy of the game. And look, that debatably can be legal and or illegal. But here's the workaround for that. Your friend most likely has the console to play this game on. So, just borrow that as well. Just borrow the game and the console that they have for it, and you're sweet. Plus, you'd be actually getting an original game experience. Now, then there's the other question though, which is, okay, well, what about when I'm plugging it into my TV? Well, there's a little something out there called RetroTink. Now, we all know RetroTinks can be expensive, but don't click off the video just yet. Don't click off the video just yet, okay? Okay, alright. There are actually a lot of people out there that can handle delay in video games, right? So, honestly, you can either get a RetroTink or just use something like this. An AV to SCART converter. And all you gotta do is just plug your stuff into that. And on the other end, you get one of those SCART to HDMI converters, you plug that into that, and you plug that in your TV, and bada bing, bada boom, there you go. You're getting a really, really beautiful looking gaming experience. So, yeah. Or, if you have it, you can do it the better way, which is go from AV to component, and then go from component to HDMI. That's how you get your really beautiful looking gaming experience, right? Now, all the high-end retro gaming nerds are going to be like, oh, don't do that because delay, lag, blah, blah, blah. Mate, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be dead set honest with you here. Bluetooth controllers have about the same delay as if I was going to play retro gaming through a method like this, which most gamers these days are used to. So yeah, will they have an overall worse experience? No, that's a load of bullshit. Will they have a slightly worse experience? Yes. But will it be an overall bad experience? No. No, it fucking won't. Alright? Like, chill. Looking at you, Retro RGB. Chill, my guy. Chill. It will not be an overall worse experience. It'll just be a slightly worse experience. And trust me, a lot of people who play modern games are quite used to the delay that comes from these. So, yeah. Anyway, when it comes to getting that experience without any delay, there's a little something out there that I learnt through Retro RGB called the RetroTink 2X Mini. And what it is it's a actual proper retro gaming made AV to HDMI converter. And what it does is it actually properly upscales these games properly. Basically makes it so you can play them in a proper way on an HD display and everything. Now currently they are unavailable, but honestly, dude, get yourself any RetroTink, any of them. They're all good, to be honest. Every single one of them. But if I had to recommend just the one to get, I would get a RetroTink 2X Mini, right? And then get yourself something like this, which is a AV switcher, right? Plug that all the way into the RetroTink 2X Mini, and then plug that into TV through HDMI, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. And the good thing about the RetroTink 2X is that you're only going to need to buy it once. And then once you buy that, you're going to need to buy no other retro-related things, right? And that's the point I'm trying to make with PC, right? Is that with a PC, most of the time, especially these days, you're only going to need to buy that PC pre-built once. You're only going to need to upgrade it a maximum of once. You know? Like, because the thing is that, like I said before, PC is up here. Console is down here. At the moment, console gaming is still trying to catch up to the pure quality of PC gaming. But if you just go, screw it, and get yourself a full-on high-end PC, then bada bing bada boom, there you go. You won't need to ever buy any consoles or any of that crap. You know, the only thing you'll ever need to end up buying is some games. So then you can dump those games to your computer. So then that way you can play them. In fact, here's a tip. Here's a tip for those of you out there that want to play games like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and stuff like that, right? And I'm talking about like the original Sonic the Hedgehog 3, right? But you've looked at the price for Sonic 3 and you've gone, oh, that's really expensive. Whatever am I gonna do? Game collections. These are normally sold for really damn cheap these days. And look, I'll be honest. This one right here does not emulate the Mega Drive games 100% properly. But my point is that with this, there's only like 1 or 2 sound issues you're gonna have with a game. And even if you can look past that, which a lot of people, I'm talking about very casual, everyday people, are going to be able to look past that, then you can have a great experience with just this. Hell, I don't even need my Sega Mega Drive. All I need is this, to be honest. I didn't need to spend like, what is it, a total of, now it's probably a total of like $200 for my Mega Drive and the Sonic games. You know, I didn't need to do that, but I did it because I love Sonic 1, 2, and 3 that much. You know what I mean? But not everyone has to do that. And if you're one of those people who does not want to spend that much money, just get this. Get this for like $8. Pop that in to your PC. Take the ROM out of this, pop it into your emulator, and bada bing bada boom, you've got a Sega Mega Drive right there on your PC. And you've done it legally. It's the same with a lot of other collections as well. There are so many video game collections out there that you can get for really, really, really damn cheap. And you can then take the ROM out of that and then play it on your modern consoles, right? Another example, the Mario games, right? I'll use the Mario games as an example, right? You can get the Super Mario Bros. All-Stars collection for the Nintendo Wii, right? Or you can get the original Super Mario Bros. All-Stars. And let's be real here, all the fucking time Nintendo games are like really expensive, so yeah. But if you look hard enough in person, you might find Super Mario All-Stars or even the original Super Mario Bros. For really cheap. And then just take the ROM off that, put it on your PC, and boom, once again, you've done it legally. See what I mean? So yeah. There are workarounds for expensive games, such as game collections. Game collections are great for this. Honestly, they really are. And like, yeah, you don't get a 100% accurate experience, but the experience you get is so close that at the end of the day, who really cares? You know? Us hardcore retro gamers these days are the ones who care about stuff like that. But a casual everyday gamer just won't give a fuck. So yeah. That's one of my points I'm trying to make here with this stuff, right? Is that at the end of the day, a casual everyday gamer won't give a fuck about a lot of the stuff that us hardcore gamers talk about or mention or whatever. So yeah, and is that a bad thing? In some cases, no, not really. In other cases, yeah, it is. It depends on you yourself. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that consoles are great. Console gaming is great. Emulation is great when you're doing it legally, by the way. And you know, just it's all great. You know, console gaming is great. Emulation's great. PC gaming is great. You know. But if I had to pick one, if I had to pick the best of the best of the best, right now it is PC. Because even though PC gaming is expensive, because I will admit it is. PC gaming is not cheap. PC gaming is definitely expensive. You are getting pretty much every time a overall best of the best, better experience than something like a PS5. So, yeah, in a lot of cases, it is actually worth it to get a PC over a PS5. Because that also means that you'll be able to play all the new games coming out without having to upgrade. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go. Peace out, lads. Have a good one. Feel free to tell me what you all think down in the comment section below. And I'll catch you all later. Peace.